Colorado African American Travel and Recreation Resources Survey Plan was a way of identifying the various resources that were associated with travel and recreation during the era of segregation, places that welcomed black travelers.
You had to know what hotels, what apartments, what, dining establishments were safe.
The Green Book was a guide started by Victor and Alma Green. Mr. Green was a postal worker in New York City. He used his postal contacts to start building a list of various facilities across the country that welcomed African American travelers. There have been other studies of Green Book properties, and a lot of them have just looked at the Green Book. What we did was we tried to look at every survey guide, and that's 8 or 9 additional ones. And we compiled a database for everything within Colorado that appeared in one of those. There are about 280 resources throughout the entire state, and about 58% of those are still standing today. The survey plan grew out of 2 projects that we were doing. One, the Coronado Lodge National Register nomination, which was for a Green Book listed property down in Pueblo, Colorado, and the Winks Panorama National Historic Landmark nomination in Gilpin County.
Winks was a gentleman that was African American who had a lodge that was about, maybe 6 or 7 blocks up a hill. The top of the hill where the house was that we stayed in as a kid at Lincoln Hills. For us, one of our first mountain trips.
Lincoln Hills is a black resort that was created for African Americans in 1922.
It was nice to know that there was a place in Colorado that was on the right side of history and a place that provided an opportunity for African Americans to enjoy the outdoors, the mountains.
Survey plan received a grant from History Colorado. What we're proposing is preparation of a couple of National Register nominations and some intensive and reconnaissance surveys of some of the buildings we've identified in the survey plan. The other thing we recommended is a more thoroughgoing analysis of Lincoln Hills to see if that has some potential as a historic district.
Bringing attention to those businesses and those hotels really helps to, shed new light on the past.
It was probably one of the most significant projects I think we've done. It covered the entire state, and it covered an area of history that deserves to be illuminated and to get recognized as a major story within the state.